I've been asked pretty much since Wednesday what my prediction for the game is going to be today, since OU's walking into it kind of down this year versus in years past. And my answer has been the same every day as well. If y'all know the meme from The Simpsons with Ralph going, I'm in danger, that's kind of how I feel how this game's going to go today. I'm not gonna lie, this year has been very, very weird. I think both sides are nervous going into it, but this is also the first time for me in a long time thinking that OU just does not have a shot going into this game because of so many factors in play. I'm up front. I'm gonna say it now, guys. I do believe OU is going to lose. I will give you my final score at the end, of course, but I have already pretty much have gone through the motions that every scenario, barring a miracle, OU, the outcome is still the same. OU loses. It's just a little bit closer than it being a little bit further. The big thing is this week and next week against Kansas, to me, determines the course of the rest of the season. We are realistically facing a 3-9 season. I know plenty of people are trying to pump up and say, "Oh, well, maybe 7-5, 8-4." No, we are facing realistically a 3-9 season, just like we are realistically facing a three-game skid. Like, there is no sugarcoating it. That is where we are at right now. If you can beat Texas this week, I think you can get everything back on track and salvage the season. I think the big thing, though, with OU going into this game, though, is the injuries. And I think that's the even more devastating part from last week against TCU versus now is you lost a lot of key bodies. Now, I do believe a lot of them are coming back. We still have no idea what's going to happen with Dylan Gabriel. Dylan has been going through concussion protocol. I know there's been rumors about seeing him in pads, seeing him in practice. People can dress up guys for games and not play at all. I mean, look at CeeDee Lamb a couple years ago. So we have no idea what our quarterback situation is going to be. I think Eric Gray and Marcus Major are both good to go for Saturday. So at least we have some running back depth at this point. I think Billy Bowman's out. Who knows for what amount of time. Shane Wider, I think I'm saying his last name right. He was ruled out the rest of the season due to injuries. So Kit and Kobe, you're up. This is trial by fire. It's y'all's turn. But hey, if you're better than Shane is, guys, hey, I'm more than welcome to have y'all on the field. I want the best players on the field, regardless of their class. And then of course Wanye Morris, it looks like he's good to go because of I think he had like an upper body injury from it, but it looks like he should be playing today. So, usually, guys, I throw stats at y'all. I throw out here's the total offense, here's the total defense, here's this, that, everything. Obviously, with this game, you have to throw those stats out because it is a rivalry game. That being said, obviously, the first drive's all about emotion. The rest of the game is all about business. So, again, though, OU wants to win this game as well, but so does Texas. We are overdue for a Texas loss, and Texas has their best opportunity in years coming into this game and beating us soundly. But let's put it all to the side. Let's go with a snowball's chance, sliver of hope that OU does have a chance to win this game. Call me crazy. There is a chance. There is always a genuine chance. But let's kind of talk about the keys to the game for that as well. I think based on how the team is right now, if you want any sort of chance to beat Texas, to me, you got to sell out on the run. I've gone back and forth on that, but I think if you can contain Bijan Robinson, you have a slightly better chance against Worthy, who has been dropping a couple key footballs the past couple of weeks. It's noticeable enough that I don't think it's a problem, but it could swing momentum. Sell out on Bijan Robinson, hope for the best against Xavier Worthy. Now, they're both going to make plays. It's Bijan and Xavier Worthy. They're both ballers on Texas side. Of course, they're going to do a couple things, but let's see if you can minimize the damage and stop the bleeding at that point. Another thing to keep in mind is if you sell out on Texas, the big thing is their O line is still very young. They are playing at a higher level than what people were expecting them to the first couple of weeks, but it's still a very, very young O line. Personally, like I said, I would use our D line to that advantage. I would sell out on it and hope that Worthy drops a few passes. Speaking of Bijan Robinson and the run, concerning OU, Lebby, run the ball, regardless of who is starting at quarterback. I think you have to establish the run. Establishing a run not only makes obviously the defense tired, being on the field for so long. You also control the time of possession, which has been a very huge issue for OU these past couple of games. Think of it kind of like what Army did to us back in I think 2018. You need to use that game plan against Texas. Eat up that clock. Minimize turnovers. Minimize Texas getting the opportunity to score, as everyone's put it, and it worked against Benedict Brisket. You don't want to score, don't give them the ball back. Even if Gray is out for it, because again, I think he's ready to go, but let's assume he's not. We have guys in the back with Marcus Major and Javante Barnes ready to go. They're more than capable of running the ball and getting a spark for this team. Speaking of spark, come out inspired, come out aggressive, come out wanting to play this game. Don't rely on a score to get the snowball going. It seems like every game we needed something like a score or something to really get the offense clicking. Come out ready to go at that point versus relying on that. Establish the offense with short passes, short runs. Get the offense clicking before you start chucking it and hoping for the long bombs. I think the run game is just going to be very, very crucial, however, in this game. I walk in with some trick plays. I it's a rivalry game. There's nothing wrong with trick plays, but make sure you can execute them. But I'm going to keep Texas off balance, keep them all over the place. You also, in my opinion, one of the most vital things is you have to keep the game within 10 points, or it's going to snowball very, very fast. Speaking of points, don't leave anything on the field either. You have to score, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. Sustain your drives, get the points for it. This is going to be a long day for either side for that. But if you can't get points and you let this game get too far away, it's going to become a long day for OU. Defensive wise, in my opinion, at this point, it's proven that the 3-man front's not going to work. You got to do a 4-man. You have to do something to minimize the damage on the defensive side. It would work if we had 4 beasts on OU side, but we just don't. So you have to go with that 4-man front. 3-man is just, again, it's not hacking it, and we just don't have the talent to reliably run it at the moment. Other part is defense has got to dig deep and they got to force some key turnovers. Force Texas to make mistakes. Be aggressive. Be present on the field. Even if you're going to get burned a couple times, at least be out there and be wanting to play and be on the field. Be a part of the situation. Essentially, don't just allow what happened with TCU to happen this week. Look again. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Barring a complete miracle, Texas is going to win. Most likely, in my opinion, 55-21. I can't ignore what my eyes are telling me. They smell blood in the water, and even without these teams' injuries, I just don't see the unity there to pull out a win. And it's going to take a lot more than bubblegum, paper clips, rainbows, and butterflies to fix this team in just 1 week. That's a lot to ask, especially for something that they have been touting this entire season, and I've yet to see it in the first 5 games of the season. But even then, Texas is still very young, especially along the O line and at quarterback. And being young can lead to some mistakes that can swing momentum in our way. As a result, this game, in my opinion, regardless of who, is going to be very sloppy. It's going to be the biggest pillow fight you've ever seen, but it's still going to be OU Texas, regardless. Though, like I said earlier, and I emphasize what my dad's told me, any given day, I don't want to be drinking too much of the copium, but Texas isn't as good as what they think they are based on who they've played so far. OU, at the end of the day, what I want, prove me wrong. I want to come on here and say I am wrong on this. I want to be proven wrong so badly that I can say that the previous losses in the season were bumps in the road, and despite having a long ways to go rebuilding, the rest of the season can be salvaged. Maybe we're looking at truly a 7-5 season, or realistically an 8-4. I would take an 8-4 immediately right now based on how this season's gone. But again, it really boils down to what team is going to show up. Are they going to get energized for Texas? Are they going to be present in the situation? At this point, I mean, I'm moving goalposts and just hoping that we keep it competitive. I know I'm sounding really bad on that, but I'm just hoping that we just don't get blown out and we just keep it within a couple scores. It really is, because it really is a tall order to ask OU to go do these things when they haven't been able to put together a solid game plan against a team with a pulse at all this entire season. And look, again, I want to make it clear. This is me being realistic. I know plenty of people are sunshine pumping up and saying we're gonna prove the disbelievers wrong and OU is going to win. I've been on that side of the fence before, and I pointed out to several key areas. OU Alabama Sugar Bowl, for example, was one of those. But unlike that one, and putting aside that we are overdue for Texas probably beating us at some point anyway for it, Those other teams had the talent for that. Last year, we had the magical five-star quarterback to swing the momentum around just from his presence on the field and the raw talent alone. This year, we just don't have that. It's too scattered all across the place for it. And I don't think OU has that ability to swing the momentum with that. But to be fair, regardless of the outcome for OU, I think the narrative is already set at this point because even if OU can pull a miracle out, oh, Texas is just really, really, really bad. It's nice to see OU got their crap together for it, but this is more on Texas than OU. And if OU loses, that was what was expected of it. OU's 3-3 now. So, but that all being said, guys, no matter what, we ride and die with the team. So if we're going down, we're going down in a blaze of glory. So that being said, as I'm recording this, it is 6 o'clock in the morning, and guess what? Texas still sucks. So again, hope we pull out a win today. I don't have expectations for us to do that, but hey, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's all I got, guys. So comment, rate, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live or when I upload a video to the channel. As usual on Sunday, win or loss, Sean and I, or Swiggy or Gavin and I will live stream and recap the game. So I hope everyone has a great day, great weekend, and let's just hope for the best, guys. So Boomer Sooner, only one Oklahoma. Let's go beat Longhorns.